What does your mom mean to you?
Strength. Strength. What's up, everybody? This is Michaela. This is Life with Kay. And today, it's not an easy one, but I'm going to talk about my mom passing away. I don't know where to start. I really don't. But I'm just going to talk about it. My mom passed away March 6, 2017. She was with my dad. And he woke up and she was unconscious. I would be lying if I say that I know how to do this video, because I really don't. But it's okay, because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just go to when I got the phone call. I was home and my dad called me and he was crying. And few and far between I hear my dad cry, but he was crying. And this cry, I knew that something was going on. And he just said, "She's gone." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like what?" And I kept saying that. I was like, What are you talking about? "She's gone. Mommy's gone." I'll never forget, I had my nephew in my hands, and we were on the bed. And I had my god sister, she was right there, she was with me. She was looking at me, she was like, "What's going on?" And I literally did like that, and the baby, but she had got him. And I immediately jumped off the bed onto the floor, screaming and crying, literally digging my head into the carpet, crying, saying, no, this isn't real. So I had to get myself together. And he said, "I need you to come to the house." So the whole time, I'm just screaming, crying throughout the house. I took a shower, and I just prepared. I didn't prepare myself to go to the house. I just was crying. And my family, they drove me to my dad's house, and my brother and sister were there. My first cousins, my dad's sisters were there, and we had to go to the hospital. I've never been through anything like this, so I'd go to the hospital for what? But to view my mom's body. And at that moment, it wasn't my mom. It was her, but it wasn't her. I will never forget that moment, walking in. It was just me, my brother, my sister, my dad. And she was laying there, and I'm, not trying to be graphic or anything, but she was laying there. And I just heard my brother cry. Again, I've never heard him cry. I never heard that cry. I never heard that cry. And he just kept crying. And I cried, but then I was trying to be strong, but he cried. My brother cried like a baby. Snot coming out his nose, drooling, crying. Mommy, I'm sorry. Mommy, I'm sorry. Please, Mom, please, please. And I cried. But I couldn't cry, but I cried at the same time. And, you know, my cousins came in and I just rubbed her head. And we were all in there, and we ended up leaving out. The days up until the service went by. They went by. And I'll never forget when my dad handed me the packet for the service. And he looked at me, he said, I need you to take care of this. And I was like, you need me to do what? I need you to go through this. I need you to make sure that everything is right, that everything looks good. And if I could be honest in my mind, I'm not the oldest. Why? Why do I have to do it? Why do I have to do it? I'm not the oldest. But I took it and I did it. And it was freaking hard. Making sure the program looked good. You know, gathering all these pictures of my mom, of the family. Calling, you know, some places while he took care of other things, you know, with my grandma. And then there was a day where we're getting closer to where we have to go pick out an outfit, you know, for her to be buried in. And we went to the store and we looked at all these different suits. We looked at everything and nothing did it. Number one, I could go back before I finish. I have had this conversation with my mom prior to her passing away. And anybody that knows her knows she loves to look good, like very classy woman. And she told me, she said, when it is my time, don't have me looking a mess. And I was like, okay. But at that moment, it's not real. So you say, okay, all right, Mom. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. So fast forward back to that moment, I hear her, don't have me looking a mess. When it's my time, I want to look good. So we found a suit, black and white suit, black and white Michael Kors suit, number one. Not that it's about labels, but as soon as we saw it, we all started crying in the middle of that store. Because we knew that that was something that she would have wore. And she would have looked really good in it. So we buy it. I pick out jewelry. I pick out rings. And, you know, again, you would have to know her to know that that's what she loved. And we pick all that stuff out. We get the shoe. We get everything. And it's becoming more and more real as we move closer to the time. Because now we're at the funeral home and we have to pick out a song. We have to put the pictures together and do all of these things. And it was very hard. But we did it. We did it. So the first thing we do is we have a viewing. And it was not until she was gone that I saw the impact of how many people came. People that I hadn't seen since I was a child. People that knew me when I was a baby. Just everybody, young, old, middle-aged, like everybody. And I didn't cry. Yet again, here I am, still not fully crying. And we had the viewing, and as weird as it is to say, it was amazing. Like, it was amazing. It was something that I know she would have wanted. So then the next day is the service. My mom wanted to be buried at her home church, which is in Surrey, Virginia, which is in the country. And we had the service there. Like I said, prior to all of this, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 years old, me and my mom had this conversation. And I told her, I said okay to everything, to the wishes, to everything, because it was something that I didn't want to talk about, but not knowing that it would be so much closer than normal. She told me, my mother, number one, my mother was a pastor. She was a preacher, evangelist, you name it. Very powerful woman of God. She told me, when it's time, you are to wear my robe. And she said do the eulogy, but you are to be in my robe, you know, her preaching robe. And I was like, okay. Again, I'm saying okay because you don't think about something like that. You don't think about you losing a parent. But the day came, and when I tell you, I did not feel worthy enough to put on her robe, but I did it. I did it, number one, unto God. Number two, I did it unto her as a memorial. When I put it on, I felt strength. I immediately broke down shaking and crying when I had to put it on, but I wore it. I didn't feel worthy, but there was a reason. But I wore it, and we had church. We definitely had church. But it was not until the service was over and it was time to commit her body to the ground. In the seats that you sit in when you're the immediate family. And I sat down and I lost it. It was at that moment where I felt like a little kid, little girl rather, and I cried. And I cried because I at that point I didn't think about the service. I didn't think about the people. I didn't think about the food after. I didn't think about anything but why my mommy? Like, why mine? You can't go. Like, you just can't go. But at that moment, there was nothing that I could do. So that was that. Service, family, food, laughter, you know. But that's not where I started to feel the grief. The grief came later on. The grief is now, if I could be honest. The grief is now because I'm 26. And when I want to pick up the phone, just to see how she feels about something or advice, or I'm dealing with this, I don't know how to get through this as a woman, I can't do that. I can't. I would have to say the one thing that hurts the most is she'll never see my firstborn. My mom was a daycare provider for up until the day she died, so 20 something years. And I watched her take care of all the babies and all the kids, and even like my sister has kids, so like I've watched her be grandma. I watched her like be great at it. And it hurts sometimes because I won't have that. I mean, I know I'm gonna be okay. That's fine. But the here and now, it hurts. I don't want to live in regret. And I don't live in regret because I know that I was there. Me and my mother were not best friends, but that was my mom. My mom she was sick for a while, but she persevered through. She had so much strength. I would try to figure it out sometimes, but I couldn't. And again, her faith in God was so strong that is what she leaned on. That's what she relied on. And I watched it all of my life. So I know I'm gonna be okay, but like, it's very hard. It's hard to talk about it now. But I know I'm not the only one. And people will be willing to give up their lives every day because of the hurt of losing a loved one. Whether it's a family member, a friend, a mother, or a father, there is so much more life to live, though a life has been taken away from you. I don't know. It's hard. I have my moments where I can laugh about it. I can joke about it. I can just remember getting in trouble and just laugh. And then I have moments where I feel broken. I feel like my heart has been ripped out. The person who carried me, it's a part of my DNA. Like, they're not here. And there is no answer. And that's the thing that I stress to everybody. That is the thing that I want to stress to everyone that is dealing with what I'm dealing with, or that may down the line of time. There is no answer. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to be angry because you don't understand. But life is just what it is, and it will go on, and you will be happy. I don't have the answer, and I may never have the answer, and that's okay. But I know one thing, that she loved me dearly. She loved me dearly. I'll take it back to before I got the phone call. I'll never forget. The last time I saw my mom was on a Saturday. And I went to the house randomly. Hey, y'all, And I went upstairs, and I remember I rubbed her leg. And I was like, what are you doing? She was like, nothing, watching TV. And I rubbed her head. And I didn't stay long. And I don't know, I didn't stay long. It was just, I wanted to come say hi, I wish I would have stayed a little bit longer if I would have known that was the last time. If I would have known that was the last time that I was here, I would have stayed a little bit longer. So that was a Saturday. They said my mom preached on Sunday, or got up and was just really powerful. But I think she preached on Sunday, and she passed away on Monday. Nobody can make me think otherwise. Strength, she was. Strength is what she instilled in me. That's why I'm sitting here doing this video now, because it is just strength from God. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you lose your mom when you're young, when you're a kid, when you're 50, that's your mother. It's a part of who you are. I I didn't know when I was gonna be able to talk about it openly. I talk about it to my family, my friends all the time, but to talk about it openly, it's a part of my healing. This is not a therapy session. This is just really just me talking and being open and really letting you see where I've been for the last 2 years. 2 years is nothing compared to a lifetime. I think one of the other hardest parts is watching my dad. Very strong, very, very strong. But in my heart, I get sad because they were best friends. They've known each other since they were in their preteens, 13, 14. And he's lost his best friend. But I pray for him all the time because God is strengthening him. But you know, as a kid and you watch them, you know, I grew up watching them together and how in love she was with my dad. I see it, and the fact that I can't see it again, it hurts. It hurts. But I just wanted to come up here and be transparent, be vulnerable. It is not easy because I know the viewers, and then some of you I don't know, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine because I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know who needs to see it. I don't know who is sitting there thinking, I'm the only one who feels like this. It's just me. It's not just you. And you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel like you're not going to make it, because you are. It is so important that in grief you keep your head up. You keep a smile on your face. You be joyful. It's okay, again, to cry. There's nothing wrong with that. But something like this does not have to overtake you and ruin you. It is a part of life. It is a part of life. This is probably not the last video about my mom, but man, I miss her so much. I thank God that I have dreams and she's in them. It's awesome. It's awesome because it's like a refreshing, like, man, yeah, that's what she looked like. That's what she sounded like. That's what her touch felt like. So it's okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. So I know I'm usually like laughing and chipper and all of those things, but this was really big for me and really serious. But I thank you for taking the time out to hear my heart about my mom, to hear how I feel. If you want to get an update, you know, how you doing, I don't mind. Comment below, message me. I'm here. And I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful. Again, this is Life with Kay. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love you.
Mama, mama, can't you see how I still need you here with me desperately? Yes, I know that you're better now with Jesus beyond the clouds, but I miss you, I miss you.